Getting terminated on the exact morning of a $4 billion corporate merger sounded like a cruel joke. I held my cardboard box of personal desk items tightly as the metal elevator descended toward the crowded lobby below. My phone began vibrating aggressively in my hand with an incoming call from Garrett, the primary billionaire investor who expected me to finalize the contract today. Took a deep breath to stabilize my voice before answering the phone and informing Garrett that I was no longer an employee of the firm. The heavy elevator doors slid open to reveal a chaotic scene filled with anxious executives and legal advisors. Garrett stood near the glass entrance with his phone pressed to his ear, looking around the room in absolute bewilderment. Garrett spotted me immediately and marched over to demand answers, just as Vance, the chief executive officer, stepped out of the stairwell. Vance was accompanied by his newly appointed daughter, Chloe, who held the corporate policy manual like a protective shield. Chloe proudly announced to the gathering crowd that she dismissed me because my skirt hemline violated strict company regulations by 3 inches. The entire lobby fell completely silent as Garrett turned his intense fury toward Vance and his smirking daughter. Garrett reminded the leadership team that their entire commercial agreement was built on my specific financial expertise and negotiation strategy. He then invoked the key person clause that I had secretly inserted into the contract, allowing his investment firm to withdraw without facing penalties. Garrett and his entire team of corporate advisors turned around and walked out of the glass doors, leaving the board members in total shock. I followed them out into the warm morning air, feeling an unexpected sensation of deep emotional relief wash over me. My phone buzzed constantly with frantic messages from colleagues, but I powered the device down immediately. Over the next several days, the corporate stock plummeted by over 40% as news of the collapsed merger spread through the financial media. I spent my sudden free time resting, cooking actual meals at home, and catching up with my supportive sister Valerie. Valerie pointed out during a video call that my sudden termination might actually be a hidden blessing. 2 full weeks of absolute silence passed before Vance finally managed to reach me on my personal home phone line. He sounded completely broken and exhausted as he begged me to attend an urgent emergency board meeting the following afternoon. Vance promised me that Chloe was removed from her position and that the board would accept my terms. I walked into the executive boardroom the next morning, wearing the exact same professional outfit that had caused my sudden termination. The desperate board members stood up immediately as I presented a list of non-negotiable demands prepared by my legal counsel. My conditions included a massive salary increase, a permanent board seat, and complete autonomy over corporate operations. The most critical demand in my document was a unique clause giving me 60% personal ownership of any new business venture. The board members hesitated and exchanged deeply worried glances, but the immediate threat of absolute bankruptcy forced their hands. They signed the contract one by one, officially bringing me back to save the failing organization from total ruin. My very first task upon returning was calling Garrett to salvage whatever remained of the massive corporate merger agreement. We spent several hours negotiating a much tougher agreement that favored his investment firm significantly due to our unstable situation. While stabilizing the core business, I quietly approached Tasha, our brilliant head of product development, with a secret side project. I explained to Tasha that I wanted to create a specialized line of adaptive professional clothing tailored specifically for modern women. We designed elegant corporate skirts with hidden adjustable mechanisms that could change hemline lengths instantly and seamlessly. This innovation ensured that no professional woman would ever suffer from arbitrary workplace rules regarding her personal wardrobe choices. 6 months of intense development passed before I gathered the entire corporate workforce for an unannounced presentation regarding our future. Vance sat in the front row looking incredibly anxious, while Chloe tried to hide near the back exit of the room. I projected the bold new logo of my clothing line, which I named Evolution Styles. I personally demonstrated the adjustable skirt mechanism on stage and explained the precise real-world inspiration behind the new brand. I told the entire audience how a petty judgment over 3 inches of fabric almost destroyed our century-old firm. The room was absolutely silent as every employee realized I was referencing the disastrous actions of Chloe. The official commercial launch of Evolution Styles exceeded every financial projection within the first few weeks of digital operation. Garrett gave a viral television interview praising our innovative garments, which caused the company website to crash from heavy consumer traffic. The new venture quickly generated significantly more revenue than the original core consulting business ever had. Vance eventually called me into his private office to complain that the public origin story was damaging his family reputation. I calmly explained to him that personal actions always have major consequences and that his past silence made him complicit. I completely refused to alter the marketing strategy, leaving him to sit alone with his deep regret. On the 1-year anniversary of my public termination, I proudly announced that Evolution Styles would separate into an independent entity. The original company would retain a 40% passive stake, ensuring their long-term financial survival through our profits. I also established a global foundation to support women who faced unfair discrimination in the workplace. After the conclusion of the announcement meeting, Chloe approached me in the hallway looking remarkably humbled after her year in a junior role. She quietly asked if she could apply for the new corporate fellowship program to help rebuild her career. I informed her that the application selection process was incredibly strict but open to anyone. Chloe ultimately received an alternate spot in the program, sending me a private text message filled with sincere personal gratitude. The original firm slowly stabilized under new leadership after Vance finally decided to officially step down from his position. I realized that true victory was not about destroying my enemies, but about growing too large to ignore. The ultimate consequence of that chaotic year was a complete transformation of how we define professional value in the corporate world. I managed to turn a moment designed to humiliate me into a global movement that empowered thousands of other individuals. When someone tries to make you look small, the best response is to build an empire. Thank you for listening to my personal journey through corporate betrayal and ultimate success in the modern business world. I would love to know which specific moment of this story resonated the most with your own professional experiences. Please consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video so we can continue sharing these powerful narratives. If you enjoyed watching how a single moment of humiliation was turned into a global empire, make sure to drop a like on this video. Hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss our upcoming storytelling videos. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next story.